Matty, who's a guard you should build your lineups around?
Well, he's a forward too, but I like Buddy Hield for tonight. And I think this mid-range is where players are probably going to get overlooked, especially if more guys get ruled out. We're going to see it just becomes so much easier to fit in cheaper players. Buddy Hield 6,200. He's guard and forward eligible, so I guess that helps. But this is a game that should have a lot of points between the Wizards and the Pacers. The offenses aren't great, but the defenses are definitely worse than the offenses. And Buddy Hield is pretty high variance. Like if he's making his threes, you can definitely get huge games out of him. There also tend to be a lot of bad games from him where he doesn't make the threes, but he's shooting them either way. So I think if you look at average fantasy points for a guy like that, it's not going to seem as appealing, but the upside for him is massive on any given night if he knocks down his shots. So this is a game environment. Like Kyle Kuzma, I think that makes sense. I think this whole game, this is a game you want some part of for sure.
Who is Garion's guard, Garion?
Garion's guard is Josh Giddey, who is, kind of in the same spot Kyle Kuzma is. He's just everything right now for the Thunder. It's kind of funny. I mean, I was thinking about this as Matt was talking about Buddy Hield. I mean, Hield is someone who has played essentially 40 minutes a game since showing up in Indiana. We've been talking all season about, Nick Nurse just driving his starters into the ground. I don't know if coaches are just, terrified to lose their jobs or something, but it really does seem like everyone is just playing all of their stars all of the time the past 2 months or so. And, I mean, so much so with Josh Giddey that the Thunder came out and said, we are not going to have this guy play more than 30 minutes until we hit the All-Star break. That lasted 2 games, and they immediately gave up on it, and he's played 38 minutes the last 2 nights. So if Giddey's just going to play 39 minutes and be the point guard / shooting guard / probably best rebounder the Thunder have somehow, he's going to pay off his salary at $8,300. I think that salary is a reflection of the worry about the minutes restriction, which apparently just doesn't exist. So just roll with Josh Giddey.
Nick, where are you going in the guard department?
I was going to mention Giddey as well. It is hilarious that they came out and said that, and then 3 games later, it's completely out the window. Although I think the minutes restrictions and really keeping a close eye on that is extremely, extremely overrated. Is there really that much of a difference between playing 34 minutes and 37 minutes? Are you dramatically increasing your injury risk? I don't really think so, but I'm not an NBA player, not an NBA coach. Who knows? On the other side of that Josh Giddey OKC matchup is DeJounte Murray, who is the obligatory mention at 11,000. Good matchup against OKC. Should actually be a pretty fun game between 2 bad teams. Stephen Curry, to me, you're getting maybe a little bit of a discount at 10,300, considering who we're talking about. Possibly, maybe back on track after hitting 8 threes the other night against the Clippers. He's hit at least 8 threes 7 times this season, but that was the first time since all the way back on December 23rd that he's accomplished that feat. 5 of his 7 games this season with at least 8 3-pointers came within the first 15 games of the year. So that kind of puts into perspective the prolonged Steph Curry slump, at least by his standards, that he has been in. But my favorite guard play, if you're going to pay up and build around this guy, is Trae Young at 9,400. Really good matchup against Orlando. Atlanta has not proven to be a good enough team that it's going to dramatically blow out a team like Orlando when Trae Young plays 28 minutes. It should be a close enough game that he's playing into the fourth quarter. And honestly, this salary feels a couple $100 too low based on how consistent Trae Young has been carrying that offense, coming off of 41 points and 9 assists just last night against the Cavs.